what's going on with some of the imagery we have in the black community, especially with our rap artists. You got 50-year-old brothers still rapping about the same thing they was rapping about when I was 16 years old. Where is the growth and when do we transition? Because I think that it's creating this kind of facade for the black male that this is how you're supposed to be. What do you think about that?
I would say that a lot of black men are developmentally stuck. They never went through a rite of passage. They were never taught the value, responsibility, and accountability. Many of them shy away from that. I think the masculinization of black women helps to feed that as well, because so many brothers always have a sister who they can rely on who is responsible and accountable. And I think that serves as a dysfunctional plan B when a black man can look to the woman to be the supporter and the provider and the protector as opposed to himself. I think in order for us to get out of that developmental phase where we're stuck, it's going to require a lot of support from our women in terms of them saying, look, we need y'all to be the men, we need y'all to do these things, and we're going to allow you to do it. But we can't have the men and the women at the same table with everything as it relates to responsibility. Some things we have to lead, some things they have to lead. But as long as they're leading in every sphere, it provides a convenient excuse for the men not to. It's not the woman's fault by no stretch, but she could aid the brothers in taking their natural place of responsibility and accountability by stepping away from certain obligations and letting them know that these are going to be yours now. I also think the example that a lot of black men see are of other black men who were also developmentally stuck, who never had to assume the traditional responsibilities of manhood, whether it was mom, whether it was grandma, whether it was baby mom. A lot of men have women who they can lean on to be their economic support, which automatically takes him out of the role of being a provider himself.
What would you say to the individuals in the media, whether it be the actors or actresses on Scandal, the hip-hop, Atlanta hip-hop housewives, and all these perpetuate stereotypes that constantly are thrown in front of our face? What would you say directly to them on what they're doing to the African Americans as we speak?
Well, number one, I don't know if I would say anything directly to them, because I think they know the effect that their work is having on the psyche of our people, and that is not positive. But they're being financed to do it anyway, and they're going to continue because they have no loyalty or accountability to us. You see, so I don't know if I would say anything to them. I think I have something to say to us. Why are we supporting this? Why are we watching? We should be boycotting it. See, the bottom line is they don't have any accountability because we don't hold them accountable. We have to start holding our athletes accountable, our entertainers accountable, our leaders. We have no accountability infrastructure, none. You can sell out black folks and still come home and go to your birthday party. No accountability system. So we have to start holding them accountable where we boycott them, actively and aggressively boycott them, embarrass them in public about how the black community no longer supports you. Make them think twice about what they're doing. Make it unpopular to be a coon on TV, and they will cease being a coon because our behavior is a function of the consequence. Until we give them consequence, nothing will change.
And I've said this on video, that economically, had those brothers, all those 12 individuals in that LA Lakers and Warriors game, had they had sat there, and when they said, and introducing Chris Paul, number 3, sat down, instead of doing the jerseys, boycotted, the economic structure would have right then and there understood that you could not take black people as a joke. Do you feel if they had did something like that, a lot of what we look at as respecting the black dollar would have changed in that component if they had boycotted?
Not necessarily respecting the black dollar, but I think for those brothers, there would have been a significant show of respect to let people know that we're not going to accept that type of treatment, just like when the brothers and sisters stood up in Ferguson and also sent the message that we're not going to accept that type of treatment. But see, here's the thing. It was not only the responsibility of the brothers on that team to do that. All the black men on all the NBA teams should have boycotted. There should have been no NBA at all. Period. You would have crippled the system. The whole financial machine of the NBA would have been crippled. Not just the people in that city, it got to be national, because we all want people. The geographical boundaries are superficial, imposed by white folks. We don't pay them no mind. Family, no matter how far away they are. All the brothers should have. If it was the other way around, Jews would have done it.
Oh, they would have been executed. Basically, when you see this, right, when you see this kind of negativity, stereotypes being perpetuated day in and day out, and these artists say that this is just a part of entertainment, how do you feel? It's not entertainment. Culture reflects
culture reflects the state of the people, and the state of the people reflect the culture. The relationship between the people and this culture is bi-directional. We influence the artists influence us, which is to say that the community has to also take responsibility for everything that the artist does, because we buy it, we support it, we promote it, we watch it, we publicize it. See, Lil Wayne's message would be nowhere if we didn't carry it. Okay? So we have to look at the responsibility we all bear to the popularity of gangster rap. Okay. Like I say to sisters a lot, they'll listen to the same music that degrades.
Yes, sir.
Black men will party to the same music that feeds stereotypes about us being killers and thugs and being lawbreakers, and then we end up shot by the cops. So we have to look at our own responsibility as consumers and perpetuators of the culture as it relates to supporting material that is anti-African and dysfunctional.
So you say a lot about white supremacy and how the creation of that controls us. But wouldn't you also say that the fact that blacks, African Americans, are kind of holding themselves back by not taking responsibility on what we're saying in lyrics, how we're conducting ourselves in the family?
Okay. Yep, that's our role.
Because when you hear a black person talks about, when you always hear this, when a black person hears about another black person doing a crime, it says, well, why are we always upset about when a white person does it, and we don't get upset when a black person does it? I say because, well, those two black people aren't always at the same time, Joe and Mo, and they have their suits on, they're basically in the same kind of atmosphere. What do you say on that from the facts of people not being as outraged as they should be for black crime?
Well, first of all, we should be more outraged. We should. There's no excuse for that. However, at the same time, what you said is true. The two brothers who participated in the homicide, they're both victims of the same system that put them in that same predicament. That white man is representative of the power structure that oppresses black people. So you're never going to see it as the same because they're not the same. One, you have a victim killing another victim. And the other, you have a representative of the power system with all the authority that comes with that killing the victim. So the reaction is going to be totally different. One was totally preventable, and the other one was a victim of circumstance. So they are different. They're going to be viewed differently, and they should be, because the motives are totally different. The brother who kills the brother ain't killing him because he's black. He killed him because he's stressed out and he don't know what else to do about the situation. That white cop who killed that black man, he did it intentionally because he was black. That was a race crime, whereas the black on black was a hate crime. Appreciate you. No doubt. No doubt. Brother Umar, much love.